That's a deep question. West Coast Classic did not go the way that I wanted. I did not qualify for the CrossFit Games.
Yeah, Lauren Fisher was one of the 2 athletes in this heat that did it and finished it underneath the time cap when it showed up 5 years ago. She's no stranger to a heavy barbell, competing in Olympic weightlifting as well back in the day.
After moving to Georgia and committing, kind of going all in on training, literally I was eating, sleeping, training, doing everything possible for recovery, and you dedicate those 2 months, and then to kind of have your season cut short after one weekend was a little disappointing and obviously very sad to kind of have your season cut short like that. So that obviously didn't go the way that I wanted, but I mean, you're not going to learn anything without adversity, and so I think that I learned so much from the West Coast Classic that I wouldn't have learned if I didn't compete. Little things from COVID, like those habits that you don't really see, started adding up, where I was like going to bed later because we were busy working on some sort of project for Grown Strong, and then I had to still get up early to go and train, and then I would come home, work on social media for Grown Strong, and then go and train again. Then all of a sudden I'm doing a Zoom meeting for Grown Strong. So it was just so much that I could not focus on training, and I can't believe that I was doing it until literally quarterfinals, and then that 2 months at leading into semifinals was finally when I was able to dial in my training, and I felt like I made up so much ground in that 2 months. So I felt like my performance at West Coast Classic didn't really justify where my fitness was at. Unbroken, but everyone else did, so I went unbroken. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, though. But there's still 2 more left. I think for me, that was like everything. Having your own booth at the West Coast Classic, like I would have never imagined when I first got into this sport that I would be able to compete at such a high level while also having a high-level company on the side. And the fact that I was completely gone for 2 months, had no idea like what the team was doing, and to see it come together and come to life, I was like, not only do we have a booth at West Coast Classic, but I think we have the best booth at West Coast Classic by far. And like I think that for me was just so much fun to see, like the fans, the community really like rallying and just having fun at our booth, hanging out, getting to see what we were all about, and just getting to understand what Grown Strong is. And for us, we are so community focused. Like our brand is about the community. So for us, this was like just so much fun to be able to do something like this. We had people coming over for our little game that we put on. People were challenging like Jason Khalipa. They were challenging Kristen Holta in burpees. And so it was just like so much fun, and to see it all come to life, like that was, I think, such a huge success in itself, and that like made it all like worth it, despite not qualifying. Just to be able to have like something like that, but to know like, hey, my community is still sticking behind me no matter what, like that to me is everything. Yeah. appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
I don't know.
Awesome. Take a pose here. Clapper, guys. Good fight. You guys will love the timer. Yeah.
If I watch your
Thank you. Want to get in there too? Sure. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Bye. Awesome. Yeah, I think there's always this picture that a lot of people think, like, by making it to the CrossFit Games that you're going to gain more followers or that it's going to give you more sponsors. And I think for me, like, I never chased the sponsors. I never chased the followers. Like, I have always just stuck true to who I am, and I have just shared my story. I've shared what Grown Strong means to me, like growing up with 3 older brothers, and nothing was ever easy in our household, overcoming obstacles and just like fighting through adversity. Like, I think that's why people follow me. And so I don't think whether or not I made it to the CrossFit Games that it was going to change anything. So like seeing, I think also too, like inside my Grown Strong community, all the women writing their comments, messages to me like, hey Lauren, like we look up to you because like you've inspired me to start fitness, like I was never into it, or you've inspired my daughters. And like seeing all those messages from all my followers and fans, not caring if I made it to the CrossFit Games or not, that was like just made it like so much more for me, because obviously you're down, you think that people want you or expect you to make it to the CrossFit Games. You think sponsors obviously expect you to make it to the CrossFit Games. But like my sponsors, my community, like everyone knows like, hey, not every year is going to be your year. Like it's not like some years you're going to have an off year. And I think for a lot of people, they expect as a professional athlete for you to be on the entire time, like for you to constantly like make it back to the games or constantly like be podium at a competition and like just anything in life. They expect you to be like always on. And for something like that to happen to me at West Coast Classic and realize like, hey, even like high level athletes like you deal with adversity and you also have failures, like that to them resembles so much more. And I think so many people can relate to adversity and fighting through that. And also for me, learning so much, and it's only going to fire me into the next season. And now I have even like so much longer to train for next year, which is really exciting. I am a fighter. I am a fighter. I am a fighter. I am a fighter. Fighter. Got no limits. I got no